In this video, we are going to cover a detailed summary of Shakespeare's legendary tragedy Macbeth, unfolding its full storyline in a long, narrative style for deep understanding. So let's start. Across the dark, mist-covered fields of Scotland, thunder rumbles as a fierce storm sweeps across the land. Out of the swirling fog emerge three mysterious witches, figures wrapped in secrecy and shadow. They gather at a lonely heath, speaking of future plans and the chaos to come. These supernatural beings, neither living fully nor dead, sense a tremor of destiny approaching. Soon, a great warrior named Macbeth will cross their path, and the course of Scotland's future will shift dramatically. Meanwhile, far from this eerie meeting place, Macbeth and Banquo, two loyal generals of King Duncan, make their victorious return from battle. Their triumph over invading forces has earned them great honor and glory. As they walk through the battlefield's remnants, their path leads them toward the gloomy heath where the three witches await. The sudden appearance of the strange women interrupts the peaceful return. The witches greet Macbeth, not as he is, but as he will be, calling him the future Thane of Cawdor and eventually the King of Scotland. To Banquo, they offer a different prediction. He will never be king, but his descendants will rule the nation. Before the two men can make sense of these prophecies, the witches vanish, leaving them unsettled yet curious. Their confusion only deepens when messengers from King Duncan arrive with news that Macbeth has indeed been granted the title of Thane of Cawdor. This unexpected confirmation plants a seed in Macbeth's mind, a dangerous mixture of ambition, temptation, and destiny. Although he tries to dismiss the thought of becoming king through unnatural means, the idea begins to take root. When Macbeth sends word of the witch's predictions to his wife, Lady Macbeth, she immediately embraces the promise of power. She sees greatness in her husband, but fears his nature is too soft, too honorable, to seize the crown through dark deeds. Driven by fierce ambition, she resolves to push him toward fulfilling what she believes fate has already written. Soon after, King Duncan announces he will visit Macbeth's castle as a gesture of gratitude for his victories in battle. This unexpected visit presents both opportunity and danger. Lady Macbeth senses that the perfect moment has arrived. Fate has placed Duncan at their doorstep. She urges Macbeth to use this chance to take the crown by force. Macbeth hesitates, torn between loyalty and ambition, honor and desire. But Lady Macbeth's determination outweighs his uncertainty, and together they create a deadly plan. When night falls and the castle is wrapped in silence, Macbeth carries out the terrible act. He enters Duncan's room and murders the sleeping king, his hands stained with the weight of betrayal, trembling with guilt and fear. Macbeth returns to Lady Macbeth, who quickly takes charge, covering the evidence and preparing the scene to blame the king's guards. As dawn breaks, the castle awakens to the shocking discovery of Duncan's death. Panic spreads, suspicion rises, and Macbeth, pretending to be overwhelmed by grief and anger, kills the guards who could have been witnesses. The king's sons, Malcolm and Donovan, fearing for their lives, flee the country, and suspicion falls upon them. With the heirs gone and chaos spreading, Macbeth is crowned King of Scotland. At first, he tries to accept his new role with confidence, but his mind is restless. The witch's prophecy about Banquo's descendants haunts him. If Banquo's line will rule the future, Macbeth's stolen crown becomes meaningless. This thought consumes him, driving him deeper into paranoia and fear. To protect his fragile power, Macbeth secretly arranges the murder of Banquo and his young son, Fleance. The hired killers ambush them on the road. Banquo dies bravely, but Fleance escapes, leaving the prophecy still alive, and Macbeth even more tormented. During a royal feast that evening, Macbeth attempts to present himself as a confident and noble king, but his calm is shattered when he sees Banquo Escos silently sitting in his place at the table. Only Macbeth can see the apparition, and his growing panic alarms the guests. Lady Macbeth, trying desperately to protect her image, dismisses his behavior as a temporary illness. Yet beneath her calm exterior, she senses that the path they have chosen is spiraling out of control. Despite the darkness closing in on his life, Macbeth remains determined to secure his power. He returns to the witches, demanding more knowledge of the future. The witches conjure strange visions that give Macbeth both confidence and danger. He is warned to beware of Macduff, a nobleman who has grown suspicious of Macbeth's actions. He is also told that no one born of a woman can harm him and that he will not fall until Birnam Wood moves to Dunsinane Hill. These riddles reassure Macbeth, giving him a false sense of invincibility. But Macbeth's fear of Macduff pushes him into an even more merciless act. When he learns that Macduff has fled to England to join Malcolm, Macbeth orders the slaughter of Macduff's wife, children, and servants. This monstrous act marks Macbeth's complete descent into brutality and tyranny. News of the massacre reaches Macduff in England, filling him with overwhelming sorrow and rage. Standing beside Malcolm, he vows to seek justice for his family and to free Scotland from Macbeth's oppressive rule. As Malcolm gathers forces to reclaim his father's kingdom, Scotland suffers under Macbeth's increasingly violent rule. At the same time, Lady Macbeth, once the driving force behind their rise, becomes consumed by guilt. The memories of their crimes begin to break her mind. She wanders the castle in her sleep, haunted by the blood she can no longer wash away, until she finally succumbs to despair and dies. Meanwhile, Malcolm's army advances toward Macbeth's stronghold at Dunsinane. To disguise their numbers, the soldiers cut branches from Birnam Wood and carry them as camouflage, fulfilling the witch's prophecy in a literal but unexpected way. When Macbeth sees the moving forest approaching, the illusion of his invincibility begins to crumble. Even then, he refuses to surrender. He arms himself and prepares for battle, clinging to the witch's words that no man born of a woman can harm him. The final confrontation arrives when Macbeth faces Macduff. Macbeth feels confident, believing Macduff cannot kill him, but Macduff reveals the truth. He was not born naturally of a woman, but delivered by a surgical birth. The prophecy unravels in an instant, and Macbeth's last source of pride dissolves. In the fierce battle that follows, Macbeth falls, ending the reign of tyranny that has engulfed Scotland. With Macbeth defeated, Malcolm becomes the rightful king and begins restoring peace to the land. The long nightmare ends, leaving behind a story shaped by ambition, fate, guilt, and the disastrous cost of unchecked desire.